welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition, an Edwin Forrest Bowie rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors. Before we get into it, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. That number's going down, but there's a lot of work to be done. We back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do we do that, Megatron?
We don't break the damn law.
Finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Well, this is the Edwin Forrest Bowie by Bark River. Now, I asked Megatron to do a little cutting with it, little kitchen food prep with it, because this would have been not only a fighting knife, but it would have been an all-around, everyday EDC knife. I'll give you all the specs in 1 second, as soon as I cut this paper and I turn it over to Megatron. I do want to say this up front. The handle material is absolutely gorgeous, and it's dark curly maple. I'm saying that because I'd probably forget. The tool steel is A2. It's awesome. Meg, just for a quick second, babe, tell us what you thought of this knife. I know it's a little big, but what'd you think?
I really enjoyed using it. It was a bit long for me, but it cut like a razor. I mean, it was impressive. I didn't have to use much effort. It just kind of did all the work for me. I really enjoyed it. It was like a scalpel almost. It was very impressive. I had to get used to the length, obviously, because I kept punching the crock pot unintentionally. But that was my fault because I didn't move myself further away from the crock pot.
All right, and let me ask you this last question. I'll leave you alone with it. Did you find it so it wasn't ungainly, very sharp? Did you adjust to it over time?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I simply moved the cutting board a little bit to my right, and it was perfect. I really enjoyed it.
Damn thing does look like it's cutting.
Yes, it was.
I appreciate your input, darling. Let me give you guys some specs before Megatron dips out. The overall length is 17 inches. The blade length is 12 1/4 inches. The cutting edge is right at 12 inches. The blade thickness is 0.187 inches thick. It is an A2 tool steel. That's one that Bark River does very, very well. Rockwell is 60. The weight is 18.6 ounces. Now, I'll read this to you real fast. The Edwin Forrest Bowie is thought by most American Bowie experts to be the actual original that Jim Bowie used at the famous sandbar duel that ended with a rough fight among all the participants. As Jim Bowie was recuperating from his gunshot wound, after the fight, he met and became friends with the then famous actor Edwin Forrest. Bowie gave the knife to Forrest for his stage show, along with a number of original newspaper accounts of the fight. The knife was found in the 1980s in the Forrest family estate in Pennsylvania. This is Bark River's version, and I just want to say this. I honestly believe this was the original as well. There, Lola is agreeing. She's wanting some onion. They're absolutely terrible, dog.
Worst.
The worst. But, babe, thank you. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you.
All right. Back to the knife, guys. Listen.
Bye.
Bye, babe. All right. So here's the deal. You heard what I read. To me, and here's the deal. I sent a picture of this to Blackie Thomas. I sent an email with a couple of questions. I will do a follow-up with his input on it. But like I said, this would have been kind of an everyday carry knife. Now let me say this up front. I was surprised with how sharp the damn thing is. I don't know why. Every Bark River I've tested, and it's been several or demoed, have been razor sharp. They've been first rate, grade A quality, built really well, and that dark curly maple, let me tell you something, is gorgeous. My camera does not do this knife justice. Now, if you have not read about the sandbar fight, you're missing out. Just type in sandbar fight Jim Bowie. I'll be 100% honest with you. I never was a huge Bowie knife fan until I read actually about Jim Bowie. All we'd ever heard in school pretty much was the stuff with the Alamo. But if you read that sandbar fight, that was a bad dude, son. And I mean that in a good way. Right here, we're just showing off the sharpness of the knife. Now, let me say this because I say it every damn video. I am a novice at best when it comes to this stuff, just like the way you see me knock the damn hose out of my hand there. But I can tell you this knife right here was a joy to use. It was light, it was fast, it's incredibly well balanced. There's no scab there looking good with that ensemble. Now right here we're doing the Donnie B all day drop test, and we're going to do the Donnie B all day throw it at the stump test. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Donnie B all day, please go do so. He's marching to 10,000. Let's get him there. He's a brother in the blade. He's my brother from another mother, and just an overall good dude. We do this test to demonstrate the lightness, the balance of the blade. I'm checking the edge there. We do it to test the tip, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell y'all again. Now, guys, I've said this many times. I can't go knife fight anybody. They'll put you in jail. So we're going to try to do enough. And when I said I was a novice, I also meant to tell you I don't really consider these tests or reviews or anything of that nature. I'm simply trying to do a demonstration of the knife, and I say that I'm a novice so that you'll understand. If you've got a much better skill set, you see how well the knife works with my skill set, it will definitely work much better for you. And I'm just trying to be nice to you there. But right here, we're going to do our zip tie test. This is one, and a guy said the other day, he said, man, if a knife won't cut zip ties, it don't need to be in your pocket. Amen, brother. Amen. We do this test not to see if it'll cut the zip ties, but to see if it'll do any damage to the edge. Absolutely none on this knife, and it sped right through them. Again, to be this size of knife, it was not ungainly. It was not unwieldy. That's why I asked Megatron to process some food with it. She's kind of my go-to. She's kind of my... Meg knows her stuff when it comes to knives and cutlery and that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to see what she would say about it. She actually, this is one of the few knives where she was like, this thing is impressive. All I had to do was adjust for the length. Well, you heard her. You heard what she said. She really enjoyed the knife. Now, just doing some quick light chops. What you're going to see in this video is what you see in a lot of my videos. I set my videos up the same way every time, or at least I try to. That way you know what's coming. In your mind, if you're looking at two different knives, you can maybe make some mental comparisons. It's hard, guys. It's hard to compare two knives. You're not going to strike the material the same way each time, blah, blah, blah. But at least by this way, you'll at least get some different looks. The one thing that I did consistently in this one, and I do it a lot in most of my videos, but in this one especially, you will see me do a lot more slicing. Now, we can't knife fight anybody. I tried to pull the double. I haven't cut bottles in a while. Let me tell you something. This thing is fast. It slashes. Should have got a little closer up. I have to get back with my guy Eric Hussein and get a little more tutelage there. But you can see that it's just fast. Look at that. I mean, that's just a beautiful, even though I needed to adjust my light there, dude, that's just a beautiful blade. You see old Scab's ninja type hands there, right there. I nicked it. I didn't get it. I'll keep practicing. But I'll tell you this. If I had another 5-10 minutes and I'm being dead serious out there, I promise you this knife is light enough. It is fast enough. It is nimble enough. You can pull doubles with it all day. Now, right here, this is a test. This is another test I like. And one of the reasons I like it, we cut plastic in our everyday life. Every day, you're going to cut some kind of plastic if you're a knife user. It's just going to happen. What I like about this is we just kind of put a little pressure on the tip, see how easy it penetrates, and then just glides down. And you can see right here, son, no problems there. And again, I can't overemphasize how gorgeous this knife is. Now, this was a knife old Bowie fought with at the sandbar, okay? So, again, let's replicate a couple things. Let's do the John Peters stab test. That's where we stab the sidewall of a tire. This was off my old Dodge 1500, and I named it after John Peters, the guy who thought of the test. Now, we got 2 there. This is going to be 3. I'm going to tell you this. I was a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. about slippage, guys, the grip on this knife for me was perfect. And let me put the other caveat. I got a ton of caveats, but I think they're important to let you guys know. I'm going to do a little bit of a hammer grip here with my thumb on the butt. I can only speak to the piece that's in my hand. You understand? But I've done enough now of Bark Rivers knives. I think this is 5 or 6, thanks to Timbo 437, thanks to JR, massive thanks to those two guys who've allowed me to use their Bark Rivers and abuse them to some degree. I ain't found a bad Bark River. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? They're tough. I love A2 tool steel. They're all razor sharp. They're all beautiful. The damn things are all beautiful, guys. And this thing right here, that's that 2-inch toe strap or ratchet strap. Y'all see how well it goes through, man. My little fat fingers, I couldn't hold it there. But now, right here, we're going to just run it straight down the middle. I like doing this to kind of test the tip. See how sharp the tip is? We're going to make 2 passes. And this will tell you all you need to know right here. Perfect on the penetration, just glides right through it. And again, guys, that's an old ratchet strap. It's been out in the rain, it's been out in the crap, it's been out in the stuff. No problem. We go right back here to some slicing. We're going to do some light batoning in just a minute. Right here's a little slicing and a little feather sticking. That'll show you the control of the damn knife. And I'm not a feather sticking guy. I'm probably the world's worst feather sticker. If there is such a title, it would be me. Now, this old stick here, son's about had to lick. We put a couple good chops on it, and it was all she wrote. It did kind of go on a break, but you see the good penetration there. And again, guys, no edge damage. Right here, we're just using it, trying to check the control, check if it is it landing where I want it to land. Yes. Is it getting out of control? No. Light is fast, but it's light enough I can pull up on it. Damn good knife, man. I know sometimes I get a little carried away. And here's the other thing, guys, that you'll notice as we go. I tend to lean towards more of the positive. There's enough guys that can beat and bash and do all that shit to a knife. Okay? If I don't like a knife, and I've said this before, people have asked, is there a knife I don't like? Yeah, the ones you don't see on my channel. This knife I love. I'm telling you right now, and a big thank you to JR. JR bought this thing and sent it to me. He didn't even take it out of the box. And I want to speak on this real quick too. We talked about the dark curly maple, and that's just a nice accent, very, very functional. This thing came with a gorgeous leather sheath. Bark River does leather as good as anybody in the game. I'm just telling you. Beautiful sheath, beautiful handle, beautiful blade. I'm going to clean this thing up, strop it up real good, eagle tears it down, and probably towards the end of the week send it back to JR. But this thing was just nasty, man. We got a couple minutes left. And let me say this. I appreciate every single last one of my subscribers. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch these videos. I appreciate you taking the time to ride with me. I put out a video Sunday. Dear subscribers, listen up. In that, I mentioned our raffle. That is a raffle for veterans that I do with my partner on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. Here's the thing I want y'all to know about that. Not one dime comes to us. Nothing. You donate directly to the charity. You send us a screen receipt, and you're in the raffle. I didn't mention that in the video today, and I don't want that even to be insinuated. No money comes to Choir Boys Cutlery. No money comes to Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. No money comes to Steel, Forged, and Fire, Sword and Knife. Every dime you put in for that raffle goes to that raffle to help hashtag 22 a day. Right here we did a couple push tests and just kind of playing around with a water hose. Guys, listen, after all the cutting, after all the slicing, after all the chopping, after everything we've done with this knife, I cut a damn sidewall of a tire. Y'all see me do that. The knife is still razor sharp. The things I would want you to remember on it, it's highly, highly functional. I will put a price point. I'll pin a comment in the comments below of the cost. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on it. I'll put that in the comments. Guys, Mikey says it best. Everything is going to be all right. Mikey's true. I'm Scab. You're not. It's the Edwin Forrest Bowie, son. It's badass. I'm gone.